How were you able to overcome difficulties?
Well, I must say that I haven't faced a lot of difficulties or racism in my life, thankfully. And I've never really suffered from from looking Asian, I think, overall. I think because I've been quite lucky growing up in Sweden and now living in the UK, I think both countries are quite tolerant and not that racist, in my opinion. But I think one thing that has helped me to come to terms with who I am and my background story is to meet other Korean adoptees or other adoptees, and just to make friends with other people who share the same background as me. That has helped me a lot to see that there are other people who were also born in Korea or in another country, in another part of the world, and grew up in Sweden as well, for example, or another Western country, and who now might also be living in the UK or in even a different country. And and actually some of my best friends are people with this background, and just having this relationship with other adoptees has helped me a lot to overcome difficulties.
Is there any specific advice that you would like to share?
Well, the one thing that comes to mind is to be proud of who you are and not dwell too much about the past and what has been, but to try and live here and now, and to be grateful for the situation that you are in now, and to look forward to the future, I guess.
Do you have any words of comfort?
Well, I am a Christian personally, so for me, that brings me a lot of comfort and a lot of joy and a lot of hope for the future as well. But in general terms, I would say that, that you should be proud of who you are, and you should be proud of your background, and and just forget about the past and look towards the future, I guess.
Let it breathe, just be yourself. 너를 위한 달콤한 시간.
Tell me about your education and career.
Yeah, so I've always worked hard in school, and I did well in school when I went to school in Sweden. I then, so after I finished sixth form college, I went to France to live there for 6 months and study French. And then I moved to Uppsala, which is one of the most famous university towns in Sweden, with the oldest university in Scandinavia and a very vibrant student life. So I moved there to study to become a secondary school teacher of English and French. So I lived there for about 5 years, and I also during this time moved to France for a few years to study some courses there, and also I moved to England for 1 year to study English, and that was at the University of Sussex in Brighton. And it was during this time that I met my now husband, who I've been married to for 17 years. So I finished my degree. Well, I've got 3 university degrees, 1 degree in English language, I believe, 1 degree in French literature, and 1 and a Master of Education. So I got a BA, an MA, and an MEd. So that's about my education. Did you also ask about my career, Peter?
Yes, just tell us in general.
Okay, yes. So basically, so I moved to England because I met my now husband here in England about 20 years ago. And when I had just moved here, I worked for a year as a secondary school teacher of modern foreign languages. So I was then teaching French and German to the children. But that career didn't suit me because I found it really difficult to keep track of the children's behavior, and the workload was massive, and I just couldn't manage. So I gave up teaching after 1 year only, and then I did various jobs where I could use my language skills for only a couple of years, and then I fell pregnant with my oldest son, who's now 16. And after he was born, I stayed at home with my children. I now have 3, for about 13 years. So then I was a full-time mom. I didn't work. And then when my youngest one started preschool just a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, I started working part-time. So I started doing freelance work in translation and proofreading. I then did some customer service work where I could use my language skills. And I now work as a translator for a music retail company. And in this role, I translate product descriptions and instruction manuals on the company website from English to Swedish. And I also, on the side, have a freelance job in customer service where I assist customers in French-speaking Canada with their queries. So at the moment, I work quite a lot. I work more than full-time now, and this is quite unusual for me, who used to not work at all for so long. But I do enjoy working. It gives me joy, and I am glad I can help support the family as well financially.
What are you the most proud about?
I am the most proud about my family. I'm proud that I've got 3 children who are all healthy and nice and bright. And yeah, I think that's what I'm most proud about. Yeah.
What are your hopes for the future?
My hopes for the future are to hopefully be able to continue working as a translator. And to gain more experience as a translator. And it is also for my children, like I said earlier, to do well in school and to have to find a job that they enjoy doing and that they can succeed at.
Can you say something in your native language as a close for this meeting?
Okej, tack för att ni har pratat med mig idag. Det har varit trevligt att vara med här. Och hoppas att ni får en trevlig dag idag. Hej då. By the way, yeah.
Can you tell us what it means?
Yes, that means thank you for talking to me today. It has been nice to chat with you. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you for partaking in this project. And we also want to thank NCRC and the Ministry of Health and Welfare of South Korea for sponsoring this podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
혹시 마주친다면